21 years ago this week, a troubled young man was set on, or chose, this remains to be foreseen, a collision course with terrifying destiny, piloting personal life through the midst of 2 plane loads worth of world-warping political bombshells. And that's just in Donnie Darko, director Richard Kelly's cult favorite head to which we say, happiest 21st Cinem-Anniversa-Rhesus, big guy. But don't take my wordlessness for it. Its top point of IMDb trivia claims star Jake Gyllenhaal and co-Seth Rogen apparently agreed they do not understand what they just acted in. I could summarize one of Darko's mechanics at its spooky thorax in 8 ways. No, I literally mean the way 8 is. The number predominates as alpha and omega for this poor dude. His bunny buddy, Frank, tells him the world will end in 28 days, 6 hours, 42 minutes and 12 seconds. Add in those units all up, you get 88. He tells his therapist his dog died when he was 8. A news anchor says his arson job was extinguished after 8. His final year is 1988, etc., etc., ad infinitum. Ad infinitum. Shall I say it again? Repeat it, maybe? Ad infinitum. Our dear Donnie Darko is likely stuck in a time loop, instigated by a collision of 2 universes, sucked up by the tangent. Would some trampoline repetition drive the point home, maybe? The 8 signs are all over, like looking for 11s in Us. Yes, someday it's groundhogs, other day it's rabbits. Or what me and my therapist call the Hull bunny. Kelly's hero ended up being another time junkie, Christopher Nolan. This poor movie was struggling for studio support until Donnie Dunkirk privately viewed Darko and basically instructed Newmarket to carry it to big screen, having previously gifted them and us his own cult head in Memento. Sadly, DD's troubles lay ahead or behind, depending on how you look at time. Psst, hey, want to see it being a flat circle? Donnie Darko had all advertising pulled, since its trailers included plane crashes less than a month after September the 11th, 2001, ensuring its box office nosedive. Fortunately, it gathered love, fascination, and cult status in its DVD phase. Part of how this happened is for how precisely it captured a time and a feeling. Any high schooler can find themselves in Donnie's universe in any post-88 year. And there are a lot of movies from that paranoid millennium neighborhood trying to interrogate what the hell was going sideways in Stars and Stripes suburbia, from The Virgin Suicides to American Beauty to anything Larry Clark. But not all managed the persistent and eerie premonition of Donnie Darko. It even anticipated a pop cultural predilection for predetermination and eternal return, with stuff like The Matrix. But spookier still was Kelly setting Darko in the 1988 world of George Bush Sr., promising on the Darko TV set at one point that brutal Panamanian dictator Manuel Noriega was a benevolent ally, only to shaft the guy a year later. While in the real world of Darko's 2001 release, there was no way Richard Kelly could have precognized George Bush Jr. turning on old friends the Taliban, or could have known he's making his life really difficult, including 2 plane crashes in his movie as narrative spear tips turning the world Donnie knew on its head, much as US 9/11 irreparably screwed with meaning in our world. More microscopically, though Michael Moore would argue it's inextricably intermingled with imperialist adventurism, Donnie Darko kicks down the cellar door on the mental health discussion around US school shootings, releasing almost exactly a year before Moore's Bowling for Columbine. Not to mention other similar cinema in the 2000s neighborhood, such as Elephant by Gus Van Sant. And much like The Shining, which it mirrors in places, these larger historical and political contextual unmentionables present in Donnie's personal upheaval. Speaking of unmentionable, i.e. genocide of indigenous people and slavery, Donnie's family kind of just sit on the time bomb of an imploding sun. Mom and dad aren't terrible, but they just kind of keep a lid on it and let the therapist and the meds handle everything. They don't seem to probe to know about their son until it's too late. In fact, year 2 Gyllenhaal is the boy in the bubble, also from 2001, funny enough, entirely unsure how to tell others or be given an opening to tell them something's wrong in his head, and the poor guy's afraid of doing it alone. This poor Akira unkempt discontent boy. Speaking of afraid, it also has a grifter in the brilliant Patrick Swayze seizing on the zeitgeist of fear as the individual source and problem to solve. in the 80s wave of self-help horse. It's a strange one that drops you in a vortex of emotions. It doesn't neatly slot into any particular horror category, but it's anything from Hitchcock to creepypasta. At times, it even feels like a story about a mass simulation with manicured mountains, hints at a program operating somewhere else outside. Or even its point-and-click quest-style font and chapter pages. Point-and-click works here since Donnie worries some larger unseen power might just be directing us all down these gnarly wormholes. And despite feeling strangely comic book, it still managed to mostly dodge misunderstood fan fixation, given respectful distance, unlike, say, the mass use of Joker or Rorschach. Frank turns up almost nowhere come Halloween, unlike the Scream mask. But ideally, Frank does appear to you just on your next screen, ASAP, because Donnie Darko is pure, classic, prescient, timeless Cinem-Anniversa-Rhesus goodness. Watch it. In conclusion, my dear Donnie and Donna Darkos, that's where I have to leave you. Go watch it, you deserve each other. And now would be a good time we start sharing other good horror recs to get wrecked on. Go ahead, ruin me. Is there a phobia of living? We're pioneering it here on CNE. Spooky drops to the socials, please. And I'll be right here for you next week, a frailer man foresee no evil.